A pleasant good morning to each and every one. Hope that you are enjoying your Sunday thus far. I know that there will be a lot of people who may be in church and such like. And just hope that all is well in your neck of the woods. Alright? Blessings to each and every one of you. This morning, I said, the truth shall set you free, and let's talk about the issues. First and foremost, I'm going to say it again. It is so sad to see that so much people in this space are Trinidad now. And even Tobago, Tobago is some copycat people, some of them, who just want to be up and down in all their feelings against the government. I'll go ahead with that, Just go ahead with that. That is not my main issue here this morning. My main issue here is to come again and to bring the facts. Not from the facts from the real facts machine as to the situation of things that are taking place on our island here, Tobago. And, when people don't want to acknowledge the God of heaven and do the right thing, when you make promises and you say you are going to do things and you go against your conscience and the will of God, all kind of things just happen in this space, sad to say. And I heard this statement from their chief when he talk about Murphy's Law. And what is Murphy's Law? They say anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And my dear child, if you sit down and you dig your conscience and dig yourself as to the way you are doing things, you will know that as a person who know right and who know the things that they're supposed to do, and you constantly want to take the wrong side and do the wrong things, things will come and blow up in your face. Sorry to say. Do the right things. When you make promises, keep it. When you say you will do things, do it. Well, here we're going on. The other day, our situation, by the way, and this is for those of you too, who like to put all your mouth in places where you're not supposed to put all your mouth, and talk things about what all you don't know about. Please, you better all call me, mind my business. Call, and if I Peter bash all you on the phone, I go bash all you. You understand me? Call me first before you go outside there and make all your mouth fast into situations that all you don't know about. Right? Because let me tell you something. If all you listen carefully to what people saying, all you wouldn't be going out there and ranting and raving on foolishness. Okay? Here, our story. I am here again talking about our story. And the thing may look small to all, but it's bigger than we already think it is at all. So last Saturday, I made a live on our situation up there at Roxboro, in the place that we were given permission to occupy in the meantime until we get rid of a piece of paper, you understand me, from the chief to occupy where we are, right? It is a government property. And it have good people out here, good people. And a good friend sent me this article. Right. Sent me an article when I spoke about the gentleman that is called Gary Olson. And he's an excellent talker. I read it today. I read it every single thing that he sent us, and all tell me whether or I find that I shouldn't be saying this and I shouldn't be saying that. Tobagonians, listen carefully, Now, I read it. The person sent me an article. This article was written quite in June the 4th, 2024. Well, to tell you the truth, me doesn't really read newspaper and read article there. So me don't know what them thing there. I go up in Roxboro and I see that they're building thing there. And they say, you know, the people will tell you, yes, they're going to build up a hotel franchise or wherever. I read in the man article. But that's something in particular that I want to read. Right? I read in the first part. It says, a new hotel currently under construction in Tobago should be completed by next year. Developers of the Elephant Tree Beach Club and Villas are building 126 villas and 24-room hotel, 2 restaurants, bars, a spa, and a fitness center at Roxboro, with the multi-million-dollar project to be completed by the end of 2025. We see that didn't happen, right? Okay. Read more. Let me go down. And let me tell you, I fight to find this article. Hey! And I want to this is one time I tell you again, share the life. People need to hear and they need to know what is going on in the island of Tobago. All right. Olson said, all right, Gary Olson, the managing partner of Elephant Tree Beach Club and Villas, spoke to the Express via Zoom from New York on Monday. That was since in 2024. Also said the project, listen carefully, is privately funded with zero Tobago House of Assembly investment and zero public funds. He said that, right? Okay. And the goal is to make it a 4 to 5 star resort on the island, which is dramatically lacking at this point. The project is 100% privately funded. We have no public money, no public help in any way, shape, or form. Right? So you talk about that and that and that and that. Now here, however, an issue, I dropped down some paragraphs. He says, however, an issue has arisen as a choice. Hotels, they were talking about this choice hotel, this and that and the other. Ascent Collection franchise was recently obtained for the Manta Lodge in Speyside, Tobago. In light of this, Olson has been trying to meet with the THA. We made this suggestion that the chief secretary that we would not interfere with them going ahead and having that franchise, listen carefully, in return for some unused lands, which means you want free land at Tobago in Roxboro, that we would use to build a food market, a branch bank, probably a pharmacy, and a few other amenities that are not only needed for us, but needed for the east end of the island. There truly isn't anything serving that part of the island, said Olson. So, because whoever the choice people get the franchise up in Manta Lodge, he in turn now wants the chief sec to give him, I read it again, we made this suggestion in light of this. However, an issue has arisen as a choice Ascent Collection franchise was recently obtained for the Manta Lodge in Speyside, Tobago. In light of this, Olson has been trying to meet with the THA. He has been trying to meet with the THA. And listen to me, we had a conversation with that man. So we know that he didn't have no meeting with nobody for nothing. Wait. He said, we made the suggestion to the chief secretary that we would not interfere with them going ahead and having that franchise in return for some unused land in Roxboro that we would use to build a food market, a branch bank, probably a pharmacy, and a few other amenities that are not only needed for us, but needed for the east end of the island. There truly isn't anything serving that part of the island, Olson said. He said he had flown to Tobago from New York to meet with Chief Secretary Farley Augustine, but the meeting was cancelled. The Chief Secretary set up a meeting for us to meet face-to-face to make a decision on this. It was set up by his staff on May the 16th. That's 2024, me I talk about it. I flew in the night before for this meeting from New York, planning on going back the next day. And when I got there, I was informed the meeting was cancelled and that they may would try to reschedule. Iman said, frankly, that doesn't really sit well with me, and this didn't need to be a long meeting. This needed to be probably a 10 to 15 minutes meeting. And when I fly in for just one meeting, which was very clear, it comes off as very disrespectful. So he was very, very into himself. He said, we have continued to ask. We have been told that they could reschedule a Zoom meeting. And here we are almost 2 weeks later, and we have never gotten any response from the Chief Secretary of your office. Blah, 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 blah. So we see, these people come from where they come from. They spend their money, they buy the land, they're developing the place, fine. Plenty space upon the land where they're developing. When we entered that area, now the area that we are at is across the road. They have nothing to do with elephant. 3 people there, have nothing to do with Gary Olson. So when we were given permission by the chief to go there for the little while, Mr. Man, we were there for a couple of years, a couple of months, and then after, bam, at evening, well, and let me tell you, when we went in that place, it was a dump. Those Chinese were given that place there to stay for the while they were building those buildings in Roxboro, the fire station and them place. And after that, they were there, the Chinese who were there, you understand me, wanted to overtake the place and harass them fellas with the garage and thing behind. So them fellas showed them that Roxboro is a place where the Bellman War was, and they run them out of town. They take them and they carry them down by the airport, down there, and they was walking down by the airport. So, Olson and them had a different contractor, and maybe that man wasn't doing the work properly. You know, they had the people, and all the people were staying across by Olson property over there. So the Chinese and them come back now with Olson. So the Chinese and them come, at evening we gone up to service. When we gone up to service, all we seen is a whole set of old fridge, a whole set of machine, all kind of thing. And let me tell you, it's in the area that we well clean and fix. We put toilets in the building. There were none. We bought our toilets. We put it in the kitchen area. We buy a nice sink. I never even see sink with pipe like that. It had you have a tall pipe and you have a shorter pipe. You know, them men like nice things, so they buy nice things and put it in there. We had all church equipments in there with chairs and everything, you know, with electrical equipments, keyboards, speakers. We had everything in there. And and the place was locked. And these people went in there, break the lock, enter in, stuff in the thing, do what they want. So when we get to see what's taking place now, I can't remember the fella name, you know. But anyhow, I know the Chinese must see the name Sam. He was the big fella there. So he and the people and them, he calling this other black fella. All of them just pretend that they can't talk English, but them Chinese lied because they could talk proper English. Anyhow, so the fella come back now, and we had a discussion. The guy came and he apologized. The fella is at Tobago and he said from Bouncing Jazz. I can't remember his name. and maybe I don't need to remember his name. But anyhow, he apologized for what took place. And then, we sit down and, I opened my mouth because it had the other little building there. I said, well, here what? What happened done happen already. We stand up there, me, my pastor, my elders, all of we stood up there. I said, here what? We don't mind moving across because we're not here forever. Right? So we're going to move across, we're going to clean out the place, and we're going to clean out the other little building, and we're going to occupy that place there until such time. Now, mind you, there were others, as I have said before. The member for Tobago East, Mr. Thomas, has a choir. Before he became an assemblyman, that choir was always in existence. And they too had approached the assembly for use of one of the buildings. I didn't even know that the building that they had asked for was the same other building that we were in first. Right? So they had asked for permission to be because they didn't have no home for the choir to do their practices and whatever they had to do. So that is why they asked for this. So the other day when I said that the member for Tobago East have a vested interest in the place too, is that they had asked for permission to use the place too. Right? It was an empty place. And then I have no way as a home for the choir, so they asked if they could use a little piece of the building too, and I don't see nothing wrong with that. Right? They are Tobagonians, we all live here, and this is our place. And we didn't go in there like bandits and immigration kicks. When we went there, the people of Roxboro started to ask all kind of questions. Who sent all of that? How will they get inside it? Name it. Because maybe the village council too had, if there is a part of the access to but the village council people came at us, so we had to explain to them, we were given permission, and we're not there forever, also just there for a little while. But the disrespectfulness is with this man where they call Olsen and the people them. Now listen. So they come in, we move over to the other building. We clean it out too. Nice, clean. Let me tell you, you know where used to live there? Goats. Why them people goat used to come up and real mess up the place. You know what diesel we used to have to be using on the ground for the place to smell good and to keep the goat and them out. Anyhow, we clean up, we fix up. We had a little anniversary celebrations. Right? We put him in nice toilets. We had a toilet for female in front and the other part of the washroom because all the fixtures and everything were gone from the place. And we put the toilet in the back for the men. We bought ourselves a generator. So we had our generator to use when we want to use the generator for the services and whatever else. Because we don't have nothing for the place, so we don't have no currently. Right? But anyhow, we going. So, after we sat down, cleaned up, did all that we had to do, and we were going along fine, everybody was having their own little space and their own little business. There was our first Chinese guy who was there. He was the cook. He was seeing about all the business that was going on in the building. You know, he was the caretaker cook, I call him. And we did everything what the man said, this other Chinese, I put up a picture with him the other day, climbing the gate, not the one and them who was climbing, the one who, with the still picture who was walking, he started to make mischief. So he come now, the first time he come with the guy, right? I used to translate with the guy through the phone, right? And here we go to watching me. The idea say, get out, get out, get out. I turned to that Chinese and said, you have to be a madman. Who you telling get out? Get out from where? Here belong to you? I said, later for you, eh? Well, he come now and he gets his boss man to come into the brew. He find well, he can't get rid of we. So here what they used to do. He come at the idea and he bring a set of old bed. They bring in a set of old containers, rest it on the compound. All kind of stupidity he started to do. He come and he jam up an old container to the little building where we in. He bring in this what you call it, maybe it's Chinese or whatever they be. I just call, not Chinese, I just call them Venezuelan. But I think I heard some people said some of them from Mexico, and the Spanish people. And you know, the Spanish man even come, he talking the little English, you know, he said, Chinese bad, Chinese wicked, Chinese wicked. And he's showing me how they have them sleeping like cattle in that place. Right? We don't have nothing to do with them. The Chinese man started to take us to an old bed and thing and try to block off the door from we getting into which part we go in. Them elders and them just move away that thing and we going in and we have we service. Right? All we just got it for is to keep his service. We don't live there. You understand me? It's like you have your church and you go to church and you leave and you go home. Right? And I know, let me put this in here, for all of them Adventists who sit down out there about that good for you because we leave all your church. Hold on to your church, sister. Don't try to have a relationship with God. Hold on to church and I go see how far the church can carry all you. This one here is not for us today. Continue hating. So as I was saying, so Mr. Man now, we had a meeting. You hear me? My pastor, my elders and I, we had a meeting. Okay? And in the meeting, we spoke to that same man that is called Gary Olson. We had a face-to-face meeting with him. They talked to him on the phone. We didn't get his number. We talked to him on the phone and he called for a meeting and we had a meeting with him. He said he has men he want to bring in and things. Now we thought seriously that somebody gave them permission and no one never gave them permission. They're just riding like madmen. Alright. He said, I will have other men to come and this and that. And we said, alright. If he have an alternative for us, it have 2 containers. It had 2 containers right in front of Renaissance. He said he's going to give us one of the container to use. First he said 2 and then after he said he'll give you 1 and this and that. So the elders and them are builders, and them ready to move. So they say, we always say we have a generator, so we ain't gonna really need nothing there. And think when we need the toilet facilities, this, that, and the other, because it's our toilet. All of the people, and they went and they locked down with toilet. They put them doors, I tell you, with how much different lock on it. The Chinese went and changed out with door. And put on a lock like that and lock the toilets. So we have no access to the toilets. Our toilets that we bought and put there, we have no access to it. We said, well, let them do what they want. So we left them to that thing. You know what we did? We started to go across by the complex and use the complex toilet. That's what we started to do. Go across by the complex and use the complex toilet. Right? But they find that ain't good enough. So after Olson come and say we shopping this and that didn't come true. But he give me container and container and come true. We still going to replace. Olson turned bad man, all you hear me. Olson started to write. And these are some of the things that Olson wrote. First one, the first one I have here. I have made sure your group will not have problems this weekend, but frankly, I am sick of being held in the middle because your government won't do even the simplest job. Please pass along with every connection you have that they need to identify the land that they are giving you by this coming Wednesday. That is since in November the 29th, right that. Or access to the site will be cut off. Number one, the site he's talking about is the place where they want to thief. I have something else to read. You hear what I tell you what he said you want to make? The place where he wanted Fally and him to give him for free. You understand me? Which dies right next door to the gas station where you see they put a what's it a blue galvanized on the place. And you know they wanted to go over into the boy and them land too. Well, when them boys show them paper for the land, they had us to back off. So he wants our place for free for he to build up what he said pharmacy and food place, well like a supermarket and whatever little thing else he want to put there. He want that piece of spot to be an asset to the elephant tree over there. That man have enough land over there where he there that he could build up just what you want to build up across that piece of place there over there. Now if you say we want to give them one house or gone, that's a them business that let it take Tobago land and give them away and throw away the choir. Pitch away the choir for Olsen and them. We not saying that forever, is them, the long term is them. Right? So here, Mr. Man. So he continue. Boldface. So we have to, by Wednesday, right? My staff has spent hours chasing the various members of the THA. So here he said his staff spent hours chasing the members of the THA. That make these simple decisions without even the courtesy of a phone call or having our persons sit in their waiting rooms for hours. Also, we just have to wait for hours too. So who is also the people them? Right, he come again. Now the pastor replied to him. He said, I had a discussion with my folks and they are very upset. They actually went to the police because they met the locks cut off this morning, and that is true. I really don't want this to escalate, that the pastor. Moving us into the containers is the best immediate solution. I tell you the top of containers, since the politicians are not responding. If you lock us out, we will have no choice but to resist openly, and that won't be in the best interest of you and your project. There are things I cannot say, but this can go downhill, and we do not need that at this time. So they were having the conversation was being had. I bring it out here, right? And he was talking about who else he was waiting, right? Because we had also call on Mr. Thomas because, you know, he choir and he business was about too. So the man was talking even to Tomo and being disrespectful to member of Parliament for Tobago East. All I feel them white man and them, some of them easy. They feel this which part them come from, so they go come here and do what they want. This is our house of land. Tobago people, this is our house of land. Alright. Here the Olsen. Our next message. And I think it's the same there. He said, despite strong opposition from our project manager and construction company, I'm prepared to make one last offer to resolve this issue. So you want we offer the property so that he could get wait. I'm offering what I see is a great opportunity for you, but have certain restrictions, here kicks, based upon it. Please understand, this is a last-ditch effort. Otherwise, I see no way to go forward. And I think this was as the 3rd of December, you must be right, one day. There we go. The offer is as follows, all here kicks. We have a newly constructed building at the front of our project. He's talking about inside a hotel place. He said you have a newly constructed building. Right? At the front of our project. And will offer you the use of the biggest room in it, which is bigger than what you currently use. Currently, it does not have windows or doors, which we will install this week and see if temporary power can be attached. Otherwise, you will need your generator. All agreements are in writing. Boldface Olsen. Here, you have 60 days occupancy. So you have 2 months. Right? From the starting date, which will be next Monday. Oh, so that's January the 14th, you write that one day. So, he said, which will be next Monday, the 19th of January. You provide days of weeks and times that you will use it. Users will park across the street from the site. That is over by the field there by the by Renaissance, that we are talking about. There will be a sign in and sign out sheet at the gate. So also turn Olsen workers now. So also want to put we under subjection. He wanted us to go into his project and stay there. When I also get to a place, permission to use a place from the House of Assembly, also wanted us to go into his project. He said he built a new building there. He not carry people over there, you know. Because he wants over there so that he could put business there. He wants where we there to put business. Here. So you have a sign in and sign out. Sheet at the gate. Your group will be responsible for any interior damages to the building. Imagine that. Your users will not wander around the site. So are we there in a cage and prison? That's what you want to do. Any Facebook, newspaper, or other media negative posting will result in immediate termination of agreement. So Olsen tell himself that he could get also under duress. That's why we made in the 14th of January, he write that here. I have offered you a much better space, but not on an unlimited basis. If you are finally going to get anything from the THA, you need to push it now and not let it continue to linger. Please let me know as soon as possible so that the contractor can fix up the space. Yours, Gary Olsen. Or let's see, when I come out here to talk my thing, some of them want to push all them out. Well, they don't want to, I'm not supposed to push it. All the feel that does be talking nonsense. Me say I read out all in them. Right. Our next thing by right there. He says, as noted to another, we need to terminate to another, which means I feel he write that story there and give it to Tomo. So as noted to another, we need to terminate your group's presence on the Roxboro site. And that way calling it Roxboro site. That is not his place. That is THA place. That they're not Roxboro site. His site is Elephant Tree over the road. Where you have built up a hotel. Where you have endless land. Way more plenty. Empty land still. That way his site there. That way people them supposed to be in the first place. Anyhow. So he said, as noted to another, we need to terminate your group's presence on the Roxboro site. It has been months and has seriously affected construction on our needed project with additional crews coming this week. Please have your members remove their possessions this week. Yes, Gary Olsen. Right? Now you know, me boy answer me, I tell her the answer. He say, Happy New Year to you. Pray that God will bless and keep you and yours. God has helped us to manage the challenging situation that exists at Roxboro without serious incidents so far. I keep trying to understand why you and your team are continually trying to escalate this situation when there is absolutely no need for it. Yes, we all are inconvenienced, and the THA has been slow in solving the problem they created. But the election results should prove that these individuals have the full support of the majority of the people who live and own the island. And getting them upset is not in you nor your partner's best interest. And as such, as you may think that our little group, in inverted commas, is insignificant, I can assure you that you are measuring this very wrong. Before I saw your message, I received a message from the MP informing me that you sent a message to him and he is very, very upset about your tone and attitude. Even if you may think you have legal rights or financial resources to support from whomever you and your team are going to run, from whomever, sorry, you and your team are going to run into a brick wall if you don't continue to exercise patience and wisdom. You cannot fight the MP, the chief secretary, our church, the village of Roxboro, the whole of the East constituency, and the whole of Tobago will win. Right? You can't fight them. Also, you can't fight Alawi. That's the whole story. Listen. I want you to be successful in your project, but this approach will lead to serious problems now and in the future. I therefore urge you to instruct your workers to hold their hands. I have been waiting for the elections to be completed and the new administration to be sworn in before I personally reach out with a view to solving the problem. I was planning to reach out to you so we can schedule a visit with the chief secretary together. I am still prepared to do so if you are interested. However, if you decide to go ahead and remove our things from the compound, we will have no choice but to respond in a very hostile manner in accordance with the law and the rights we have as citizens. Right? Respectfully, Pastor Kevin Macmillan. So we passed that right back. So all who feel that he just sit down like a sheep and not say nothing. No, this was happening inside. But also continuously keep pushing it. That is why last week I came out there and did that video. I did the video. I could have read out all of this and I could have said all of this before, you know. But let all of them who want to push all their mouth in. I don't know nothing what go on. To know exactly where the fight taking place. Study to fight me and study to fight me. And don't know that these white boys come in here and figure that they want to treat you like slave again. Right. Also again. Be sure this is you have had 3 months to work something out. And as far as I know, you have nothing to show for that time. Hear what he said. Also says, we have in writing agreement to use that land as provided by our ability to have utilities hooked up. He said he have it in writing that he could use that land because he have utilities hooked up. Them have current there. So me no know what one. This is where the story gone downhill with me. To my knowledge, no one else have anything in writing given to occupy that site. Now listen to me. He might say he have thing in writing because he have utilities. I don't know if he have thief current, TNT current. Me don't know how they get current. But they just use current over there. I tell you. He said he have it in writing. But remember the letters and the discussion he had with Liz. And even in our letters and in our conversation, he said that he trying to have discussion with the chief, second whoever must be the chief, and nobody not talk to him. So if nobody is speaking to him, how he get current? And where he get the writing from? All right, he said you have it in writing. Right, so he said, to my knowledge, no one else has anything in writing giving them permission to occupy that site. What would you have us to do? Stall the project indefinitely, waiting for some future potential site for you to appear? If you could actually arrange a meeting with the chief sec and why? No. If you could actually arrange a meeting with the chief secretary, then why hasn't it been done a long time ago? So you're trying to say, I also can't talk to the chief sec. Ask him if he talked to the chief sec. Ask him if he had a meeting with him. Right? Let me see, right? It isn't a new administration, but the same players. So you have no respect for our new administration either. So you could have us provide space, utilities, and security forever, while it totally delays critical construction or what? The man wants to thief the land for God bill. As he said, I'm going to find back the article, I'm going to read them again, I'm going to tell you what you want to build after. Wait. That's not the construction of elephant tree, the construction of hotel. All right. He said, threatening the power of your people compared to the number of people waiting for jobs and the development to be built, seems heavily weighted to one side. I would be happy to meet with the chief or chief administrator to push for a resolution. But I want to know how you want to go push for a resolution and you say you get paper already. Who you going to meet with now? Who gave them the paper? Who gave them the permission? All right. For a resolution. But as the past shows us, that could be 2 months, 6 months, or even a year in the future. So all of this has shown me the man have no permission for the way I do, and I don't know you current from the attack, right? Lastly, the other gentleman saying my business acumen is poor, he's right. If I was good, we would have terminated this a long time ago. You used a different church before. So why wasn't that an option now? You use a different church before, so why doesn't that have an option now? So I want to know, also, you want to come in at Tobago and thief our land and lie and try to give people the impression as though, well, the chief said this and the chief said that. You lie. You lie. Thank God for the person who sent me the letter that you talk since then, and then you have another thing where you talk just the 2025 last year. You like to go and have news briefing. People just find them. Here he again. Now, answer back to he. Right? Answer back to he. Mr. Olson, the more I engage you, the more disappointed I am becoming, because it appears to me that you have taken an antagonistic position against the people you have to work with in the long term. Yes. And before I even go any further here, in one of the articles, the one what are the cut out the thing from? You know what he said? When he had the interview with Madame Liz, he said how he come in here to bring how much jobs for the project that they're doing, how much jobs people can be getting. The first person who was there working before these Chinese were employing local people. You hear me? Ask him how much local people working on the project right now. How much of them just talk English? Why he want place for people to stay? If you're employing locals, why he want our buildings across so? For the people and them to stay, and he want to bring a project there. So when they break down the project, he gonna be able to build up his super farm and everything where you want to build. Ask him why. Tobago people, let me hear how much all they work in my elephant tree. I'm waiting. So let me continue. He said, that makes absolute, let me read over. Mr. Olson, the more I engage you, the more disappointed I am becoming. It appears to me that you have taken an antagonistic position against the people you have to work with in the long term. That makes absolutely no sense. You are building a service-dependent facility. I know you are frustrated, but you do not have the power you seem to think you have. Ask the folks at Sanders. Anyhow, what church are you talking about that we had? If you can locate it, such, I will be happy to return there. I am assuming that the gentleman you are talking about who questioned your business acumen is the MP. If I am correct, again, I suggest that you really don't want a public fight with him. As for threatening, I am not in the business of threats. You are the one who keeps threatening us. I am just informing you that we have no choice but to respond to your actions if you continue to go forward with your threats. Yes, it's the same players. But mistakes have been made in the past, and it is my hope that things will improve. You and your team are so anti-us, being there, that even when your workers wanted a space to pray, you forbid them. And that is true, because there were some Spanish folks who are Christians and ask that they use the place that we using to pray. Also, the people them tell them they can't pray or else they have no work. Right. You talked about having permission to put utilities on the compound as proof that you have legal rights to it. Have you asked your lawyers if that can stand up in court? I think you need to. However, I am counseling you. I am consulting with my members, the MP and the Chief Sec, on what we should do given your ultimatum. I am sure that a solution will be arrived at. Ultimately, we represent Almighty God, and He will be good, and His will is going to be done. And I hope He get that well. And when was the last? Did He say the last? More answer. Give us a general time. Oh, this is what He sent Friday now. Friday Ghana the 6th. This are the others. He said, give us a general time. Your people will be there and the gates will be open. That is after me make me video last week. Yes, he called this now, and I said, give us a general time and the gates will be open because people possessions are there. The gate will not be open the whole time. We have possessions inside of there. It didn't have no gate. We had spoken to the police in Roxboro and the fire services, so we didn't have to block up nothing. Me and our position, they had a we position that the thief, with toilet and all them things that we need. Whenever we get to a place, we want we think of them, even though we might be use them, but we need payment for we store them. We need payment, Mr. Man, for we think about your thief. Right. So he said, because people's possessions are there, the gate will not be open the whole time. The site has power because we have in writing, he said again, possession of the site, and administration has acknowledged that your group was never meant to be there and was a mistake. So I want to know who administration he talked to. I said, let me read exactly what they put. So he reached down to this now, Friday gone. I don't know who is the administration he had a discussion with, and tell him that we was never supposed to be there and that it was a mistake that we should be there. He said, push very hard to find your new site quickly. So I want to know who, maybe the chief and he had a discussion now. Right in the month of February, but right now the chief I try to fix his business and I try to set up a different, what you call him, administrations and you know, fix up a new secretary and them and bring them up to speed to understanding. So I want to know who Olsen talking to. Olsen telling we to face that that the chief disrespectful, that this, that, the other, the admin disrespectful, all of them disrespectful, but now he said administration tell him. So administration, if all know how to talk to him, all better try up the story. I mean, I don't know why I could go tell him that I never give permission, so I was alive then. Otherwise I go tell this white man to tell the world that I was alive. We papa yo. But I love this message that was given to us. Please do not bargain with Mr. Olsen, and please do not accept the offer made by him. There was only one agreement made between parties, and that is that we will coexist. This is an attempt to steal our land, and the people of Tobago East will have none of that, even if it means calling on all people of Tobago East to turn up at that site to reclaim its position. So this is a call from the higher excellence, not we. Because we not there forever. But you see, we have to fight for what is we own, or else my people in Tobago, if I will let one little bit of them come in and do what they want, plenty go come in and get through too. You have to nip it in the border. Right, so here. Let them use their property to accommodate their workers, and I agree with that. They have enough space over there. They are trying to offer you there to run you off in the shortest time to ease their progress. Don't be fooled by any bluff talk and false information. Feel free to send my response to Mr. Olson to let him know that I will not allow him to bully, right? Nobody. And nobody in Tobago East. Take notice. Right. So when he get that message, then he send back. So, strictly, it is your wishes that matter. My rhetoric isn't that of Facebook postings calling us demons and demeaning other nationalities and talking about bounties on head. The site will be open for your group to come and go, but it will not stay open 24 hours a day. The whole thing about it outside 24 hours a day. And by the way, mister, when you hear me make my live last week, when you don't know my business, don't try to use it for your rhetoric. Because people like you can't put no bounty on me. You understand me? And if your bold-faced Chinese them, where want to come from, where they come from, want to feel like they go come in to Tobago, all who want to sit down and accept what they want to do to them, they all their business about me not doing it, you know. Me just love to watch me people them in Nigeria and all them place there, and they went in Nigeria and them place there, and they try their foolishness, and them Nigerian and them run them out of town. So you want to tell me I must be a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, a free national of Trinidad and Tobago, and you must come from where you come from, and you must tell me where to walk and where to sleep and where to talk? No. If I was in slavery, they me been a dead quick, because me been going to be a rebellious slave. No man in controlling this mind of mine. None. And Mr. Man, you shall not harass our government. You're all about same players. Same players, yes. He had new players too. You understand? You see, and just as how Tanti Cam said when she was there the first time around, she was nice and soft and sweet. And people used to want to tell themselves they could do what they want and carry on how they want. And she allowed them, and this time she using a very more steady Stefan. It's the same thing with Chief. He does make mistakes, you know. He does do real stupidness. That is why he had to use Murphy's Law. And as Murphy's Law says, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And that is because, my dear Chief, you yourself too, you doesn't take telling. And you doesn't listen to the wrong voices. And all kind of things that just be mashing up in your hand, mashing up in your hand. No, God wants you to steady yourself. He wants you to turn back and steady yourself. So, Mr. Olson, I want you to tell the world now. Which part you get the land from? Remember, you come back again. Just now, I'm going to read a last little piece for you. You pray like for life. You get permission. You never know that me there. God put me here. You know, he has some people he call watchman. Well, I's a watchman. I's a watchman. You is a watchman. Right? When he was talking, he had a discussion with the same people them. Trinidad Express. No, this come from the Guardian, where he talk about what? We had submission applications numerous times in the past that just sat, Olson said. Clarifying that they have submitted the duty and tax-free application, wherever. He said when he do it in Trinidad, he do business in, he didn't do nothing with Tobago. At Trinidad, he been started business with, so you know. Because at that time, the mighty PNM was running everything, so everything they had to be done, had to be done down in Trinidad. So you get where you get 1,000 already, married with that. You are spending money, do your thing. Do your thing, we go support you. But when they start to want to play as a henchman here, and you feel your own Tobago, you lie. And here the bugger. He ain't saying again what you wanted it to do. I read it for what you wanted it for. Hear what he say, you know? We have asked the Tobago House of Assembly for assistance in a couple of small matters. And we are waiting to see follow through on that. And the small matters is, he want a piece of property right next to the gas station that have 2 buildings on it. that them Chinese they bring and had the container up and up like 2-story building and 3-story building. And they had us to move the container and themselves and go which far they come out. And they come back now and they throw down a whole set of little old container business. Where they had the men and them sleeping there like cattle. They have the whole property over the road that they could, you remember he said they put up a big new building there? Well, right, he could part it off and let us sleep over there and walk over there. Then I have no right in the compound there. And as I say, you see, if when we complain to the chief, he just sit down and nip it in the bud, all this foolishness would not be taking place. No white man would have to come here to figure that he own it and he's boss here. And telling we have to sign in and sign out. And all that too. And he give you public toilets. He give you them thing where they just carry when you have fet and thing where they just put up all over the place. After also put in a toilet and fix up everything nice and sweet, paint up the place, do all kind of thing. We didn't mind after we left it to the choir and the choir, continue on the journey. We were happy with that. But these Chinese and this man come and take with it. Thief, how we think them? I ain't putting it no other way. And bold face enough. To say them have Quran, ask them where they get the Quran from. Maybe when the Chinese were there at the first time around, it had Quran put in there. So you know what people that do? Thief Quran. And take all I need to look into that. I'm very serious, so I want to know how they get the Quran. I'm very serious. He said how he talked to how administration give this. That article me read so and this year. Last year, in fact, 2025. So we want to know when he talked to them. Because we was in a serious election battle just the other day and nothing could not be done. And by the way, why we need election battle? Every night and I had a little, what do you call it, space to talk to the chief. Ask him if he ain't gonna lie. I used to be telling him about all what the man doing and all what they doing up there. And he tell me they can't do this and they can't do that and they can't do that. No, me not answer really because you have 1,000 people coming and talking in your head and he himself said it. 1,000 people talking in your head and sometimes you don't even know what this one saying, that one saying. You're just saying, But you have to stop that. Take time out for people. Find in your schedule this time around, my chief, here we have to do. Find days for the public. Write down your notes. Call your secretary people them. Where you can help with whatever you help. Where you can help, you can't help. You can't help everybody. You can't say yes to everybody. Please, you're a human. You're a human. So that no people now for that keep on saying you're liar, you're this, you're that. Your name human. Act human. Not act like none of them Marvel cartoon. Because you are not. So, Mr. Olson, this name Trinidad and Tobago. I'm a citizen, born, bred, Trinidad and Tobago citizen. You hear me? I don't wish for no other man country. I wish for my own. I shall visit wherever I am given permission to visit and find myself back a yard. Because a yard over sweet. Don't come for us. Everything is out there now. And those of you who want to go up on our page and make all a live and talk all the nonsense all I don't know about, figuring as though I want to twist my thing talking about, I never said the chief ain't giving me nothing, no. As I told you people, everything was already passed. It's them to sign now. It's them to sign now. And we have left them, let them relax themselves and let them do what they have to do. Stop twist me words. Fight for your land, Tobago people. Fight for Tobago. We want investments, yes. But make sure that the assembly and them put in proper story inside of there. So that nobody ain't gonna come here to thief we land. And the same way he have ideas for that piece of property, the assembly could build it too. Or we could get a local man to build it. Not the owners. We could get somebody else local to build up whatever they want. So here what's going on. That's it for me today. Hope all I get the message. I say share it. If all you understand everything, go back and listen to everything. I read all the correspondence from that man. I'm not playing with him. I'm not playing with the Chinese. I'm not playing with none of them. Me name citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. If all also want to bow to them, that's fine. Not me. I'm gone. Have a blessed one, everyone.